Hello, my friends. This is Jeannie. Welcome back. If you are a first-time visitor, welcome. And where have you been? I'm so glad you finally made it. I am going to share with you a page from my art journal. I created this page using items from my stash. So let me first show you the page. It is not titled as of yet. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but I figure I have some time for that. This page has been in my mind for a long while, and I finally got around to putting it to paper, and I am so very, very happy with the way that it turned out. And I'm sure probably within the next week, it'll be 100% complete when I finally title it. So as I said, I made this page or created this page using items in my stash. First off, I am using my Dylusions mixed media. I think this is the mixed media one. I'm not sure, but it's a Dylusions art journal. It's one of the bigger ones. It's actually probably the biggest one I have in my arsenal of journals right now. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by at least 12. It is definitely one of the larger ones. It is so big that rare is the day that I actually create a layout that uses both pages. The layouts tend to be confined to one space or one page, and that is the case with this one. It is a one-page layout. So to create this layout, I used like 4 punches that no 3 that have been in my stash forever and a day. I used these 2 flower paper punches. These are beasts. They are so hard to press. When they finally punch, you do get a clean cut, but they are so difficult to press that I rarely use them because of wrist issues. But I finally pulled them out and decided to use them again. So I used both of those to create flowers, and I will quickly show you the flowers that I created. And these flowers were created using deli paper. Once the deli paper was cut out in the different sizes, I stacked them and I just stapled them together. I wanted that staple look to these flowers. I wanted these to look really rough, raw. I didn't want them to be super clean cut or clean flowers. The deli paper was actually gifted to me during one of the many challenges that I've hosted in the past. One of the entries arrived wrapped in this beautiful deli paper that was painted. I forget who sent it to me, so I'm sorry that I can't give a shout out to the person, but it's this beautiful deli paper that was painted, and I kept it in my stash for the longest time. Finally decided to use it. A tip to you: if you want to use a paper punch to cut deli paper, this is very thin paper. If you try to cut it on its own with no backing or something a little sturdier to stabilize it, you will not get clean cuts. What I did was I took the deli paper, I got a piece of cardstock. This is probably 65-pound weight, just average weight. I put it, I stacked it, and then I punched it. and I got super clean cuts. So there's a tip for you if you want to use your paper punches to cut deli paper. It's so much easier and the cut's a lot cleaner if you use some cardstock to kind of stack it and back it up. So not only did I have the deli paper flower cutouts, I also ended up with some of these cardstock cutouts. What I did with these, I used them, might as well, right? Waste not, want not. But I obviously didn't want this very stark color. I wanted something a little brighter. So what I did was I just turned to an empty page in my journal. You can see I laid out all of the flowers right there. I sprayed them with some water, and then I spritzed them with my Dylusions ink sprays. I used Calypso Teal, and I used a Layback Lilac. I gave them a good spray, and then I pressed them using the page right next to them, gave it a good press, opened it up, and all of my flowers had this beautiful blue purplish color to them. And I also got this amazing page in my journal just waiting for me to use. So gotta kind of kill two birds with one stone, right? I colored my flowers, and I also got a beautiful new page to work with in a future layout. So as I said, once I cut all of those flowers out, I just stacked them and stapled them. I use color staples. These are I think, yeah, not I think, I know it says so right there. We Are Memory Keeper staples in the different colors. I couldn't find the little itty bitty stapler that came with this, but that was okay because it turns out they're standard size, and so I just used my standard size stapler, and it all worked well. So I had my flowers set up. I also used some cutouts. Actually, one cutout. This, no, more than one. This little guy here, this owl is a cutout. The clouds on this page are a cutout. And this little birdhouse is a cutout. And they are all from this die cut book. It is by Art by Marlene. I've had this book in my stash probably since it first came out. Just waiting for me to use it. So what you have in this book are tons of already colored images ready to be punched out, right? You just pull them out. When you do pull them out, they do have a white border. I just go in with a pair of scissors and I trim the border off because I don't like that white border look in most of my art layouts. For some of them it's okay, but for this one I wasn't feeling that, so I cut it out. In this particular book you get 2 pages of each of the images, so there's definitely plenty to work with in this book. I absolutely love it. This is an awesome collection. She also had another one, so she had this one and she had this one. And I can't wait to start playing with this one. Look at these images. So fun. So fun. And I purchased these from Joggles.com a little bit ago. I also purchased some other products that were Art by Marlene. I only recently discovered Art by Marlene, but I love, love, love her products and her collections. So I'm finding that I'm buying more and more of them. That one I've had in my stash for, as I said, a little bit, and finally decided to use it. Also used a couple of stamps here, my friends. I used this, I think it's called String of Pearls, Pearl Strings, bowed print by Hero Arts. I used this large 6x6 background stamp, and I also used some of my Dylusions stamps. This one is called Everything's Rosy, and I just used these stems. So I think that covers everything. Yes, so using all of that, I created this page. The background is a page that's been in my journal for a little bit. A lot of my art journals have just pages that have backgrounds, but nothing else. I love experimenting with backgrounds, and there are nights where I just take my ink sprays and I can make, you know, 3 or 4 backgrounds in one night, and they just sit there and wait, excuse me, for me to get around to using them. So here's one that's been waiting for a while. This background was waiting for a while before I finally got to use it. And I did, and I love the way it turned out. So this branch here I created using a Pitt, what is it, my Pitt paint pen? I forget what they call it. I think it's a Pitt marker. Pitt marker paint pen, something like that. It was just a basic branch I drew on the page. And then stamped the background. You can see the pearl background, the pearl string background there, just to add a little interest to the page. Then once that was done, I adhered my owl friend here, the clouds. I also used these 2 paper punches. Well, actually, turns out I only used the star. I did cut out some hearts, but I didn't use them in this page. I used this tiny EK star paper punch on that same deli paper, cut out a bunch of stars in different colors to create the backgrounds. These clouds, as I said, are from the die cut book. Here are my flowers. Basically what I did was I stamped the stems. Then I used some glue to stick my deli flowers on the top. I went in with a black and a white Pitt pen, and just did a black and white pattern on all of the stems. Then I went in with my white, what is this one called? I think this is, yeah, Jelly Roll pen. I think this is by Sakura. Yeah, this is a Sakura Jelly Roll. I went in with the white one and just added some dash lines and some highlights to finish the page. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Super cute. I also used that same Pitt pen to kind of create the shadow behind the owl, behind the bird, behind the birdhouse. This little guy right here, you see that little birdie? That little birdie right there visiting his owl friend? Well, he lives right there. So that's what that birdhouse is all about. Why not? Okay? They're just hanging out on a crazy night. It's not quite, you know, midnight. I don't know what time of the day it is. It's this crazy hour of the day where you have this crazy background color. That's how it is in my mind. So I'm going with it. These little kind of, I don't know, little tufts at the bottom here, I just created again with that same black Pitt pen, and went in with my white jelly, or yeah, my white pen, and added Jelly Roll pen, and added some dots just so that it kind of melded with the rest of the page. Using that same white pen, I went in and added some circles throughout the top just to kind of bring everything together. So I would say all in all, it probably took me probably about an hour to complete this page. And it's not quite complete yet. As I said, we still need a title for this page. So something for me to think about. Once I title it, I'll sign it and I'll date it and I'll call it done. So I did want to share that with you. I'm happy with the way it turned out, and hopefully you like it too, and hopefully you're inspired. Thank you so much, my friends, for watching. I truly do appreciate it, and I hope you visit me again. If you are a first-time visitor and you like what you see, subscribe, come back and visit me. I promise you won't be disappointed, and you might have some fun. Until next time, my friends. Bye-bye.